Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Space Cowboy here. Welcome back to the channel with another video for you guys here today. Now, we got to talk about these OTAs, and more specifically, the notable names that are coming out of them, because while they are just practices, and I understand that I try not to put too much weight into them, we need to kind of know who's making those lasting impressions as we get into the training camp portions and getting into the preseason. And we're still a while away, but you know, the sooner you're making an impression, the better. So that's what we're here to talk about in this video. Now, before we get started, if you guys can hit the like button, that would be greatly appreciated to show your support for not only the channel, but the video as well. And subscribe if you're new, and hit that notification bell so you can stick around for more Cowboys content as it comes out, because over 88% of you guys watching are not subscribed. So if you fall into that category and you like what you're hearing and you want more, why don't you subscribe? So I have an article from the Landry Hat, and primarily because of the fact that a lot of these names were intertwined, you know, and the first notable name is Michael Gallup, and he's been universally mentioned throughout Twitter, YouTube, you name it, because of the following. Fans are searching for any reason to jump back on the Gallup train after his poor 2022 following ACL surgery. Gallup has been adamant that he's fully healthy and confident for the first time in 2 years, and the early returns at OTAs back that up. According to Michael Gehlken of the Dallas Morning News, Gallup caught passes on consecutive plays during the team's 2-minute 7-on-7 drill. Gehlken added Gallup is moving comfortably and that he would have had a touchdown if not for Stephon Gilmore getting a hand on the pass in the end zone. That's Gilmore in a nutshell, but Cowboys fans have to love hearing Gallup is back, clicking on all cylinders. 2 catches might not seem like a lot. It could have been more. But these were the only catches that were reported on social media. But the big takeaway is Gallup looking more like his pre-injury self. And thank you for the Landry Hat for the article I'm referencing here, because this is a lot of good news we're hearing about Gallup. Because what I think is going to be contingent for this Cowboys offense is Gallup has to return to form. Yes, you did add Brandon Cooks through the trade. You do have CeeDee Lamb emerging. You do have, you know, a hope that Jalen Tolbert can be something. And then others behind him. But you are putting your trust in Gallup for at least the next 2 seasons, given the fact you touched his deal. So the way I look at it is Gallup feeling like his normal self is important. Like, last year, he wasn't fully healthy, and mentally, he wasn't there to do everything, right, that he could normally do. If he can return to his pre-injury self, the Cowboys have themselves a nice trio at wide receiver. And that way, and this is the other key thing, is that if Gallup still needs time to ease into things, if he's kind of having these early goings in the, you know, first couple weeks of the season, or it's like he's still getting his feet wet, you have Cooks to at least back it up. Because I think what really hurt the Cowboys was that they rushed him back and expected him to perform at a high level to supplement the lost talent that Amari Cooper was, but that ain't it. But this is a good thing we're hearing about Michael Gallup. It's not like we're hearing he's gingerly walking around or something's going on, unless something does come up, but I haven't heard anything yet throughout the social media circles. So I'm really happy for Michael Gallup because of the fact that realistically I want him to return the form, and it's not because of the money they gave him, and it's not to prove that the Amari Cooper deal was this, that, and a third. I just think at the end of the day, right, that if the Cowboys want to seriously contend, you're going to need more weaponry for the quarterback. That's just my honest opinion, and you can disagree with me if you want, but that's it. So another notable name you want to keep an eye out on is Kelvin Joseph, and the reason I mention his name is because he is on that roster bubble where he could be cut if he does not considerably increase his level of play to where we can be like, all right, this guy has to make this roster. The only reason he would make this roster at this point in time is because he's a second-round pick, and he has this plot armor with the Cowboys where if they draft you in the second round, you are literally uncuttable unless you are really, really bad. And I want to make it clear, like, Kelvin Joseph has intangibles and traits to be a good player at the position. The problem is the attitude and the mental wherewithal to get it done doesn't seem like it's there. And you see the antics that happen off the field. We know the whole big situation that happened with the car and that stuff. You can go look into that if you want to see that for yourself. And then this offseason, they add Stephon Gilmore, and rather than welcoming him to the team, I'm not saying he has to even say anything, he gets a bad attitude with it. And then recently, just recently, as I'm recording this video, there was a tweet that was put out where he responded to Law Nation and West Coast Cowboy, and it was a panel. I know those two guys were on there. I don't remember the other individuals on that. I'm sorry. But he responded to that like, oh, this is dumb, or like something like that type of conveying, because West Coast Cowboys said, hey, maybe he should look at transitioning to the safety position, which I personally think too. And again, he just has to prove himself, right? I think, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, just coming from where I'm at right now with him, I don't want him on the team. Terrible attitude, terrible work ethic, and at the end of the day, the only reason he's on this team is because he's a second-round pick. Just is what it is. He would need to do a lot to prove me wrong. And if he doesn't pick up his play, now they're saying he's playing the nickel cornerback spot a lot and getting the reps there. He's with the safeties. If he doesn't do anything to improve his play, he's going to be gone. So just keep that name out there, and he's been apparently doing well at the nickel cornerback spot, and the safety work's been decent. So just keep an eye on that. Now, another name is KaVontae Turpin. Now, KaVontae Turpin came out and said, I don't care what the NFL has changed with the kickoffs. I'm still doing what I'm doing. And for those that don't know what changed, basically it's a rule to where if you fair catch it anywhere inside the 20 or the 25 yard line, it's going to be spotted at the 25 regardless. So, for example, if I fair caught it at the 2 yard line or the 10 yard line, it's going to go straight to the 25. Now, I do like the mentality, and that's awesome. And we're also hearing word that he's been getting reps with the first-team offense, which is something I've been wanting to see for a while. KaVontae Turpin has speed, and I would love to see the Cowboys use him either on the end-arounds or just to straight just go and see how things happen and transpire there. But Turpin has some stuff he's got to prove to me, too. And I think that getting a full NFL offseason is going to help him, because we saw what he did in the preseason against the Chargers, and he had the 2 returns. But after that, it was really nothing. All we know is he's been taking terrible corners. He doesn't know when to fair catch and when not to fair catch. And I'm not going to be super harsh on him, because I need to see another year, right? But it's not like he has a long leash in this case. I think that, if I'm being real with you, if things don't improve with him this season, we could be having a conversation like, dude needs to go. Like, that's just where it is. But I have faith in KaVontae Turpin as well, because at the end of the day, you know, when you look at what he's done, I mean, it's just, he's close but no cigar, if you get what I'm saying. So, hoping that Turpin turns out well. And then another name that you want to keep an eye on is Deuce Vaughn, because that running back room behind Tony Pollard has guys like, you know, Ronald Jones, you know, Deuce Vaughn, of course, Rico Dowdle, Malik Davis. You know, the reason this is important is because it's a wide open room. And from what we're hearing from reports, he's been doing pretty well. So here is a reference to the article by the Landry Hat, where they said the following. Vaughn made the highlight of Thursday's practice when he caught a 45-yard pass from third-string quarterback Will Greer during 7-on-7 drills. The pass was underthrown, but Vaughn showed great instincts and ball skills to track the ball and come back to make the sliding grab. It stands to reason that the pass might have been intercepted or batted away if Mike McCarthy allowed more contact. The head coach was fined each of the previous 2 years for having too much contact at OTAs, but that takes nothing away from Vaughn. And then they talk about how, like, his versatility in the center third. So my big thing is that Deuce Vaughn has a huge opportunity in front of him, because realistically, you have Tony Pollard, maybe Ronald Jones, and then everybody else. I don't think Malik Davis is safe. I don't think that Rico Dowdle is safe. And honestly, if the Cowboys are looking to sign anybody else at the running back spot, you know, if you're Deuce Vaughn, you at least had to be running back 3, which I think at this point he is. But again, we'll see how training camp goes and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm really excited for Deuce Vaughn. You know, he's one of the short guys. He's as tall as me, so I'm rooting for him. But goddamn, dude, like, let's hope that we hear good things about him being used in the passing game, because he would be really dynamic there, especially if you can have another weapon alongside Pollard to use in the passing game. Ooh, that is going to be nice there. And realistically, guys, the last thing we need to keep an eye on is really the offense for the Cowboys. You know, it's not a notable player name, but when they start talking about how this offense is coming together, we're also hearing how Brandon Cooks is doing well and how he's been very loved in that room for the wide receivers as well as the whole team. We're starting to get more indications. Like, we were hearing how Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy were communicating about how the offense is going to be. And it really seems like it's like, Dak, you need to tell me if you like it or not, because if not, I'm throwing it out or we're making changes. And I like the in-sync nature of it. And that's the thing. We're going to start hearing more and more about how this offense is coming together. And it looks like it's a full-on offensive install, because Mike McCarthy said, oh, we're going through all these installs and stuff like that. So it really, I think it's a lot more than what we think. And I could be wrong. But that's where I stand there. I really like what I'm hearing out of the OTAs. And we're going to keep pushing forward. But with that, if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and hit the notification bell as well. I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye.